Red Bull Instalock 2025 was my first time casting in an international LAN. Let me walk you through how it went from travel to showday chaos to what it's really like behind the scenes. I got into London by train from Wales, checked into the hotel and headed straight to GXHQ for a quick interview I had booked with this super sub. I got to sit down with Lou for a player profile that should be dropping soon, so you should definitely subscribe and hit the notification button just so you know when it comes out. Rehearsals weren't just tech checks, we covered the full show flow, ad reads, transitions and everything that's different from your usual online or other LAN setup casts. I also finally met the crew and other talent properly, including our producer for the weekend who came all the way from NA. These would be the people I would be working with all weekend. So after rehearsal, a few of us grabbed a quick drink nearby before everybody headed off for their dinner plans. I grabbed dinner that night with some friends who lived in London near the hotel and headed to bed a little bit later knowing I had a late call time the next day. Where did you stay during the event? The hotel booked us somewhere near the Red Bull Gaming Sphere, close to everything we needed for the weekend. It was super convenient, just being able to walk to the venue in the mornings rather than having to Uber every day or take any sort of transport. What does rehearsal day look like? It's a day to get your bearings on the venue and setup, really, just to meet people and learn the specific show flow if there's any sort of movements or anything that we haven't already covered in pre-event meetings. Especially with ad rollouts, we get given what you read the ad off and that kind of things, when certain graphics will roll, and putting a face to the voices that are going to be in your ear talking for the next 2 days. On show day 1, I woke up a little bit later than I usually would for breakfast with Hazar, who I was casting with for that day. Then I went back to my room to chill, redo notes, do some last minute prep, and eventually head over to the venue. First cast, I am just sitting there, headset on, tech delays dragging before we went live, really stressed out of my mind, just hoping they'd toss to us before I generally combusted. I genuinely just needed to start casting and it would all be okay. It was like the pre-cast nerves. We didn't have any desk segments until map 3, but then I actually got to work with Yinsu for the first time, and she is insanely experienced and so smooth on camera. I learned a lot from just sitting across from her on the sofa. My last cast of the day was the upper finals, G2 versus Falcons, where Falcons took their first loss of the year, which was pretty insane, and it generally was just a banger from G2 being able to be the first team to give Falcons an L. They did eventually go into the win tournament, but yeah, the energy was unreal for this game.
It took them a while to get here. Both of the matches were 2-1 and they actually could have gone the other way.
What do you do before casting? Usually I prep my notes, review comps once we see the map veto, and just check any last thing that I've noted down in my notes, really. Did you have people doing hair and makeup? Yes, there was this lovely lady who would do our makeup and hair before we went on if we wanted. Obviously you can do your own before you got there. Are you feeling like a gorgeous girl?
I'm feeling very lovely, thank you very much. So
how early before games do you show up? We'd usually get there a few hours ahead of the game start time, enough to get set up in the casting area and just get set and ready to go. This time I was up earlier, around 7 AM, so I could shower and grab breakfast before walking over with the rest of the talent to a 10 AM call time this time at the Red Bull Gaming Sphere. I was casting with Cairo for the lower finals, which is really special to me since we hadn't worked together since early Siege days, which this event, we had new pairings every day, keeping us on our toes, but I actually kind of enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, and I think, again, I was talking about it yesterday, I'm so happy to see the support agent on top, right? Cammy was doing on the Astra, on the Viper, and now even on the Omen. So what can't this girl do?
Straight after that, we also got to cast the UK versus rest of the world show match. Total chaos in the best possible way.
I mean, something a bit different for us, Winter. We're used to the high octane of the Valorant competitive scene, but we're going to get a little show match to cast here.
Yeah, and I'm just excited to see some of the creators we actually have for this show match. Lexi did kind of spoil that she hasn't played Valorant in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm doubting. I'm worried for Team UK because from the desk they have some shooters on Team Rest of the World.
How do you feel about the show match?
yeah, it was fun. It was chill. Ask Lexi Marie, how did she feel?
How's the show match?
I've never enjoyed getting my ass beat so much in my life.
It was me, Meg Sounds Like Egg, Lou and Cairo all just vibing on both the casting and hosting sofas, just talking Valorant, creators and having so much fun.
What's going on now?
Boom, boom.
I don't know what's going on.
Boom.
And Chelsea's gonna win the round. Wow.
No, that was
I
amazing.
loved it. That was insane.
And we maybe, just maybe, even got Meg and Cairo to meow on broadcast.
Right, 3,
3, 2, 1.
meow.
It was the chillest cast and setup that I think I've ever had, and I enjoyed it so much. Seeing some of these GC players live honestly felt like being a fan again. I followed some of them since the early days, and it was kind of a full circle moment for me. What GC are casting? So we see the game feed, the minimap, and the production mixer mainly. So you can, it's what you can use, so you can mute yourself if you need to cough, sneeze, or sip water, or like a button to talk back to the production crew if something like is an issue, like the audio is desynced, you can just tell them and they'll fix it.
The thing is, look at Akita, there's an operator out early here. They have to utilize any sort of initiate ability and the flashes. They have to try and get her off the angle. Although there's been a little bit of a switch up. Cypher's now over towards A. Now he's going to be trying to lock down that positioning. And FlyQuest might just walk into the trap. Dealing with the camera early on as well, and one trip, you know there's going to be a little bit less resistance coming into sight in regards to utility, but look at the players.
Yeah, I mean, Nello just wants to go ahead and take this timing. The one-way on site is brilliant.
Were the desk and casting room separate? No. So this event was pretty unique. Everything was in one little room, just 2 sofas, one for the desk, one for the casters, with headsets for the casters and like handheld mics for the host. It was more of a little broadcast hub for the weekend, which was really nice. After my last cast, I watched the grand finals from the Fnatic HQ watch party. Once the tourney ended and Falcons were crowned the winners, players actually came over to the watch party for a fan meet and greet. It was really wholesome seeing like how excited fans were, and I got to see them meet like their favorite player in GC and just celebrate the whole vibe of the event. Have you ever imagined seeing some of these players live? Oh, definitely. I've followed some of these GC players for years, and some I even used to compete against, and seeing them play in person, then just chilling on sofas between games, it's kind of surreal. This weekend kind of taught me a lot, not just about casting, but working in the high stakes environment. I definitely made a few mistakes, but I think I learned how to stay calm and adapt and truly enjoy myself at the event, having gone through all the stress and stuff beforehand. It was a 3 duelist tournament, which made for such a fun, hype, unpredictable format. And being at an international LAN, watching players make friends across regions was honestly wholesome as hell. And how they interacted between maps or between matches in particular in the gaming sphere is kind of the whole vibe of GC, really. I'm not proud of how I handled the nerves, but I'm grateful to have worked with so many pros, and I really hope I get a chance to come back next year so I can show what I can do if I'm not nervous. What did you learn from the event? I reached out to everyone I worked with afterwards to ask for feedback because I really want to keep improving and growing from any and every opportunity. But mainly for me, that what I learned is it is okay to mess up. You just got to own it, learn from it and move on. Remember to have fun even when I'm nervous. Like, this is gaming, it's esports, it's supposed to be fun and lighthearted, and that you grow the most by just doing it. The more you do the work, the more you cast, the more you're at these events, the better you'll get, and being open to feedback. And I think that's something that I've really tried to work on and actively ask for feedback from people that I've worked with. But big shout out to Red Bull and OSDJs for putting on an incredible event and for trusting me to be a part of it. Thanks to everyone who tuned in, said hi, or even supported me in the broadcast. Hopefully I'll see you guys back again at Instalock 2026. But if you are into this kind of content, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Feel free to join my Discord or follow me on my other socials for more behind the scenes stuff when I hopefully get future events. Rehearsals won't just check. Can you tell it's midnight right now?